Hi there and welcome to another revision talk through from me, this tutor, and this time we're talking through the Edexcel iGCSE topic of the world divided, and we're looking at the Cold War. This time we're going to look at the causes of the Cold War. Okay, so let's start talking about the early causes of the Cold War then. So we need to talk about the long-term problems between East and West first of all, and the long-term causes of distrust between them. So quite a lot of this is ideological and how the West is capitalist and the East is communist. So how does this start? So the Russian Revolution, October 1917, the Bolsheviks and their leader Lenin, they seized control of Russia with the October 1917 revolution. They take Russia out of the First World War and abandon their alliance with Britain, France and the Americans, and this starts to cause mistrust between them. You then get the Russian Civil War. The Bolsheviks fought a civil war to make Russia communist, crushing all the democratic opposition and non-democratic opposition. Mistrust develops in a different way here. The Americans and British interfere in the war. They support the whites against the communist reds, and that develops further mistrust. By 1922, the communist state of Russia is being set up. They've won the civil war. Things are improving in Russia. Some people in Russia want to spread communism around the world, and this increases tension. They developed something called the Comintern, the Communist International, to spread international communist revolution. This seems like a threat to the West. So in 1920s America, the Red Scare began, and this began to increase tension in a different way. Now the US was attacking communism. The US government introduced controls against trade unions and were frowning upon basic ideas of socialism, and so they came under attack. This undoubtedly increased the feeling that the USA was anti-communist. The League of Nations also increased some tension as well. They were dominated by the British and French, so it's very much a Western thing, and they didn't invite Russia to be involved in it until 1934. So Russia felt like an outcast, a pariah in the world, and not part of the Western world, as it was not part of the League of Nations. Further distrust developed due to Lenin and Stalin's dictatorship. Stalin ruled with brutality. Things like his purges and his gulags showed his limited regard for democratic freedom of the people. This led to the fear of communism in the West. There was going to be a crushing totalitarian rule. Also, Stalin led to distrust by signing the Nazi-Soviet pact with Hitler in 1939. He let down the West. He made a deal with the Nazi dictator, and the West was no longer trusting of Stalin. However, I'm sure you know that Russia fought with the West in the Second World War, and they then start to win the war. They start to have negotiations towards the end of the war for what the world's going to be like at the end. This is particularly Yalta and Potsdam. And they start to argue at these conferences. So one of their arguments, they argue about reparations. Russia wanted reparations from Germany to help rebuild. USA and Britain disagreed. They wanted to rebuild Germany after the war. They didn't want to repeat the mistakes of the First World War and the Treaty of Versailles. But they allowed Russia to take money from East Germany, and they allowed them to take 10% of money from West Germany as well. West Germany being the area that the Allies, i.e. the French, British and Americans, were looking after and rebuilding. They also disagreed about splitting Germany into zones. Initially, Russia didn't want France to have a zone at all. They argued that France had been defeated in the war and was not capable of looking after a zone. Russia saw it, in fact, as a bit of a victory prize to have a zone of Germany, and they thought as France had fallen out of the war, they shouldn't have a victory prize. They also, the Russians, disagreed about splitting Berlin into zones. They didn't want a Western influence in their Eastern zone. So arguments over Germany would lead to long-term tensions and problems. Stalin also argued and made demands about Poland. Stalin wanted to control Poland. He wanted it as a buffer zone between Russia and Germany. Of course, Germany had attacked Russia twice in the 1900s, so he was maybe rightly concerned about German aggression. So Stalin did not want the London Poles, the Polish government in exile, to return to Poland to rule. Also, Stalin wanted the Polish border moved. He wanted it pushed westward to the Curzon line to give Russia more territory in those Polish areas and reduce the power of Germany. Another area of tension was Eastern Europe. At Yalta it was agreed that there would be free elections in Eastern Europe. But Stalin interpreted the percentage agreement and his sphere of influence as giving him permission to create communist governments. Churchill and Stalin had made the percentage agreement where they agreed which countries they had the highest percentage of control over and therefore their highest sphere of influence. Much of Eastern Europe was given to Stalin as the Red Army controlled those areas. It was going to be difficult anyway for the West to interfere. So by 1945, using his spheres of influence, Stalin had made places like Poland communist already, and by 1947 to 48, much of Eastern Europe would be communist. So what was the impact of Yalta and Potsdam? Well, mistrust and tension developed between the Allies for the following reasons. The Soviets had not given a free election in Eastern Europe and had set up communist states. Stalin was concerned that the West wanted to rebuild Germany, and this was threatening to Russia. And America did not want Russian help against Japan as the war came to an end, as they feared Russian expansion in the East. This leads us on to the atomic bomb. Truman told Stalin about an atomic bomb at the Yalta Conference. This could have been misinterpreted by Stalin as a threat by Truman. With the USA having an atomic bomb, Stalin was keen to catch up by developing his own nuclear weapon. This was the beginning of a nuclear rivalry. And of course, the atomic bomb could be used by America to end the war quickly so that Russia was not going to help in the war against Japan, potentially expand in the East like they'd expanded in the West. We then get the idea of the Iron Curtain. So with Soviet expansion in Eastern Europe, people began to fear the spread of communism. Churchill increased these fears with his Iron Curtain speech. This was supported by the American ambassador to Moscow, Russia that is, a man called George Kennan, and his long telegram. And this very much supported Churchill's view of Russian expansionism into Eastern Europe, setting up communist states behind this big Iron Curtain. So this led to Truman developing the Truman Doctrine and martial aid. His beliefs would then start to create a Cold War. Okay, well, I hope you found it useful. If you did, then do have a look at my playlist. You'll find lots of videos there all about the content and lots of skills videos tutoring you through how to answer questions correctly for your exam. If you find this useful, then do have a look at my revision guide. You'll find information and links as well. And of course, do subscribe to my channel. Right, thank you very much. Hope to see you again soon. Bye bye for now.